Hey there guys, welcome back. Today I would like to talk to you about using AI art in your game development process. Let's first start with showing you how I use AI day to day in my game. For 3D modeling, I use DALL-E as a concept machine. I generate rough mood boards for tiles, materials, props, color palettes. Do my final models match those images? Usually not, but they spark ideas I wouldn't have thought of, and that's the point. It accelerates the idea process, so I spend more time modeling and creating and less time staring at a blank screen. Where I use image generation most is on UI, elements like buttons, panels, frames, and icons. My traditional illustration skills are weak, and to be honest, at this time in my development as a creator, I'm totally fine with that. My job is the whole project, not just one aspect. If the UI is readable and pleasant, players won't care whether a brush or a model made it. They care that the game is fun and engaging. UI is one of the best use cases for image generation in game development. If you're not able to draw or paint, like me, it can help massively, especially if you're solo and have no budget. Image generation can help you create hundreds of buttons and icons in minutes. For my game Kardashev, I want the interface to evolve with the player through different eras, different vibes, so I built a single master control prompt that defines the theme for each stage. I asked DALL-E for a consistent set of buttons, toggles, sliders, panels, icons, and dividers. Seconds later, I've got a full kit to refine and implement, as well as a system that can use a player's selfie to generate their profile picture in the art style for each stage. It's not a perfect process. Style drift is real. The model wanders off into its own world, and I have to iterate a few times to get what I want. So I lock it down with a style guide going back and forward until I get the results that I want. Depending on the type of game and which skills you're developing, using generated art can be easy or hard. Say you can do pixel art and you want to make a classic RPG, you can use it to help create backdrops, leaving you to focus on the characters and sprite sheets because at this stage, AI like DALL-E isn't very good at creating sprite sheets. Or, if you're an animator, you can use it to create storyboards and try different shots before committing. Okay, since we're talking about using image generators in game dev or any creative work, let's go over the ethics of generated art. The big argument against AI art is that models were trained on data scraped from the internet, work by living artists and artists who have long passed. If that's all it was doing, I'd see a strong ethical issue. But as I understand it, the AI image generators take an image, add noise, and over thousands of iterations learn how to reconstruct what things look like, then create a new image. To me, that's basically how humans learn. You look at an artist's work that they put online for the world to see and absorb those ideas to put into your work. Is that theft? No, I don't believe it is. That's just building on what came before. I don't see how that's different from how AI learns. With that said, if someone is deliberately copying another person's work, lightly altering it with an image generator, or stealing someone's character, I'm against that. That's just plagiarism and is gross. There's also the claim that AI will drain the creativity out of art and media and can only produce slop. The world doesn't need more slop, which I am in agreement. I've seen plenty of modern art and short videos on YouTube and TikTok that isn't used with AI that offer no value and are just slop. Slop is slop, it doesn't matter if it's AI or human. The difference, I believe, is when individuals put the time and has a specific vision to make something of actual value. If a piece delivers emotion and a sense of awe, your work, as a creative in any field, with or without AI, will be valued. In the end, AI is here, and it's here to stay. It's going to touch everything from medicine to media to governments, but it can and will never fully work without the human element. It isn't human. There are things it will never understand. If you're an artist who doesn't want this to happen, you're stuck in a mindset that won't let you grow into something more. It's time to change that mindset. AI isn't going to stop you from drawing or building something physical. I love what people can make with their hands, and so do hundreds of thousands of others. People don't just care about the art, they care about the human story behind it. But as artists, we shouldn't be egotistical and claim that if someone uses AI, they aren't an artist or have no heart in their project. You're only not an artist if you put in little to no input, and that's true in any field. So don't hate on others for doing things their way. Since we've covered ethics, let's look at the legal side, your rights when you use AI in your work. United States, simply generating an image with AI can't be copyrighted on its own. But if you take that output into Photoshop or similar and add meaningful human input, refining, composing, iterating specific elements, then you can claim copyright over the human-authored aspects of the final piece. In short, you can copyright the work as a whole when your contribution is substantial but not the raw, purely AI-generated image by itself. UK and some Commonwealth countries, their laws are more open to AI-generated works. In many cases, the person who arranges for the creation of the generated image is treated as the author and owns the copyright for that image. Training data legality, EU. As of now, the EU requires AI developers to provide a training data summary and comply with EU copyright rules around how data is obtained and used. Training data legality, US. This is still being worked out in the courts. When there's a clearer position, I'll revisit it, but for now, I'm leaving it there. My take, even if models were trained strictly on licensed sources, some artists would still object. That often comes from an egotistical worldview, feeling owed work because they chose a particular medium, while someone else chooses AI to fill gaps in their skill set for a project. Your game being the most important thing, you can always start another project later that you can use to improve the skill you are lacking or weak in. Use any tool at your disposal to create your vision. Again, none of this is legal advice, just my understanding and opinion. With ethics and the legalities covered, let's talk about keeping yourself in the work and avoiding making more slop. The AI should follow your vision. You're the director. AI is the useful intern or a valuable team member helping turn your vision into reality. When you start a project, decide what you're making and why you're making it. The why is often more important than the what. Identify your strengths, then figure out where AI can fill your weaker spots. If you're generating backgrounds for a side-scroller, lock in constraints up front: the theme, the style, the materials, and the mood. As you generate backdrops, expect a few iterations before you match what you're envisioning. If you're generating for your UI, set a strict color palette, consistent scales, and clear element lists so you get exactly what you need. After that, take the outputs into Photoshop or another editor to clean up what you don't want and refine everything to match the style you're aiming for. To keep things consistent, pay attention to what you're generating, even if that means starting a new chat to refresh the session and avoid the model getting confused by earlier prompts. And to stay within copyright, don't directly use a living artist's style or copy other people's work. Keep it original. From this video, I hope you see that you can add AI to any project. It lets one person be their own studio, without a big budget or every skill mastered. If you've been a hater of AI, I hope this opened you up to the idea. I'll say it again, master your craft. There will always be an audience if you're good. If you're mediocre, don't complain. Improve your skills if it's something you love, and make amazing work. Don't be an egotistical hater. It says more about you than about the person using AI in their project. Thank you for watching. I hope I didn't bore you too much. Leave a like and subscribe to see more on using AI in your game development process. Have a good day, everyone.